Hi, my name is Tommy DeVries, and you're watching the Tommy DeVlog. This is the channel where I talk about my life, my career, lessons learned, and I try to share some lessons learned with you guys. So let's jump into how my week went. Hi, Cletus!
Yeah?
This guy over here trying to start some, what you call it, vlog.
Well, kick the dang intro then.
You heard him.
Awesome!
Alright, so before we get started, a couple updates for the channel. Just wanted to say, again, thank you so much for everybody who reaches out to me on like what seems like a daily basis with encouragement or support or just that you are enjoying watching this channel. That is giving me the motivation to keep doing this. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. Everybody asks how to support the channel, and you can support in very simple, very quick ways. Like this video, like right now, click the little like button thingy. Like the video, it's free. It doesn't cost anything. And it just shows that even if you're only gonna stay for a minute or two, just hit the like button. Commenting helps a lot too. Helps keep the video engagement up. We're gonna be talking about a bunch of things in this video, most specifically how I landed an agent. So if you want to comment but you don't know what to say, just leave the word agent in the comments. Subscribing. If you have a YouTube account or a Gmail and you're watching this video, you can likely just hit the little subscribe button, which again is free, not my OnlyFans, that costs money. Subscribing to this channel on YouTube is free, and with every subscriber I get, it's one step closer to a bigger channel. The algorithm suggests my video to more people. You can also hit the little like bell thingy, and that will notify you when my videos come out so that you can watch them and engage with them. And then finally, sharing, okay? So every video is gonna have a topic. So for instance, this topic, one of them is how to find an agent. If you know people who are looking for an agent, share this story with them. Maybe it will help them. It's free advice. They can take it or leave it. So now that we've got all that out of the way, I'm gonna put timestamps. We're gonna put them up right over here, somewhere wherever my finger is. Editor, that's me. Timestamps in the video description, so if you want to just jump to whatever topic that interests you today, go for it. Okay, so quick update on the week. Oh my goodness, I think I talked about in the last couple videos how I expected it was going to get a lot busier, and boy has it gotten busier, okay? I had 7 auditions this week, 2 callbacks, crazy. And everybody I talked to in the audition rooms and the actors I was working with in the callbacks, they were all experiencing the same thing. It was like floodgates opened up and everybody, like they've just been dumping auditions on people. And they've all been really, really good things. Like I'm getting auditions that I most certainly would never have gotten on my own. My manager and my agent have been powerhouses for me recently. I feel like all of the work I have done this year, my acting education, my getting to know LA, my networking, I feel like all of that is culminating in this holiday period for everything that is going to be casting, and there's a lot of good things on the horizon. I'm hoping that a couple things come through that I have been penned for or made a veil for. I don't want to jinx it, so I'm not really going to talk about it. Plus, like those projects haven't really announced the castings yet, but like I'm getting good vibes, and that makes me feel awesome. And it's encouraging. Like I like not only seeing obviously myself working and getting stuff, but a lot of my friends are working and getting stuff, and that's the definition of a rising tide lifting all boats. The more that people are getting work, the more we network, get to know who's working in this town, and get to learn from them and hang out with them and be in their orbits. It's all about commitment. Just gotta stick around, stay here, don't die, figure it out. I did miss a class. I was going for a makeup class. I feel like every week it's gonna be like me missing something and then having to talk about like the personal emotional trauma I feel from doing that. But yeah, I was making up a class. It wasn't the normal day that I have class, so it was a different time than my normal class, but I'd written it down at that time. So I show up and it's basically already over. And I was just like, are you guys here for the makeup class? Like, yeah, it started 2.5 hours ago. And I just wanted to like slink into my own body and die in front of everybody. I was so embarrassed. And like, I didn't even get to see the teachers because they were in evaluations with the students of that class. Did send a follow-up email. So the reason I'm talking about this is I think it's important. You're gonna miss an audition. You're gonna miss a class. If you're gonna miss anything, if you're gonna miss a day of work, take accountability for that as soon as you possibly can. Obviously, don't do it maliciously. You know, in this, like I talked about last week, when I missed an audition and I called my manager immediately, or in this instance, when I missed the class and then I emailed the teachers immediately, and take accountability for it. While that might put you in a position of weakness or vulnerability up front, it shows that you're a genuine person on the back end. And I think most good people will see somebody taking accountability for their mistakes and then working to not make those mistakes again in the future as actually a sign of strength. Do that. You will miss things. I miss things all the time. I have to manage my calendar so meticulously, and still I get things wrong because my brain's all over the place. If I don't have a tremendous amount of coffee and a tremendous amount of medication, I cannot focus on anything. I know other people aren't that bad, but everybody has their moments, their days, their weeks, their months, years, where you just feel like it's not all coming together. Give yourself some grace, figure out what you can do to control the controllables, take accountability of the things that you mess up, make mistakes on, ask for grace and forgiveness, people are more willing to give it than you think. Or at least I am. So let me know if you're having issues with that. So let's get into the meat and potato of today's discussion. How to get an agent, how I got an agent. I would love to share those with you. I have so many friends in this town, friends in the industry writ large, that are like, how did you get an agent? How did you do it quickly? And while it doesn't seem like I did it quickly, because I spent 10 years in the Marine Corps, if you want something, you just attack it really quickly, you attack it fast, and you get it as quickly as possible. Taking months or a year or years to get things, not something I'm used to. Anyways, getting an agent was definitely one of the first things on my mind when I first started breaking into this industry in like January, February, March 2023. You know, and it all started with like basic things. Look up classes, sign up for central casting, sign up for networking groups in this town, specifically veteran networking groups. VME, Veterans in Media and Entertainment, was a huge thing that I signed up for years ago. And then when I finally made it out here, I started really going to all of those networking events and requesting mentorship, meeting people out for coffee, talking to them, trying to figure out the groundwork of like, how do you get an agent? What does an agent do? What's the difference between an agent and a manager? What agent do you have? Hollywood Post 43 was another one. Just finding my niche, my community in this town, which happened to be military veteran entertainers, and learning those lessons from them with the goal of, I would like to get an agent or a manager. Initially, I had settled on wanting a manager first. Why is that? I wanted to build my brand first. I wanted to build a career path first. I knew kind of the difference between an agent and a manager. Like, an agent gets you work and negotiates on your behalf. You look up the etymology of the word agent. It's basically somebody who acts as a representative on your behalf, like legally. They can negotiate contracts for you. They can sign for you, that sort of thing. When you get a deal for a job, your agent is the one who negotiates it for you, sets everything up. All you got to do is go sign. A manager can get you work, can find stuff for you, but mostly they're focused on developing you as an actor. What's your brand? Who are your types? Where are you getting your headshots? What classes are you going to? How do we market you? Is your resume up to date? What agents do you have? What casting directors have you met? All of those sorts of things. And the very strategic military mind that I have was like, that's what I want. That's planning. That's the Marine Corps planning process in a nutshell. I want that person to help guide me through that. I don't have all the secrets and the tools of the trade. Manager, tell me how to do it. But I didn't write off getting an agent first. I knew, like, you know, if an agent is interested in me, or if I'm doing all the right things and an agent wants to sign me or at least meet with me, I'll totally meet with them. Why wouldn't I? I guess if the agent didn't check all the right boxes and I was quick to just sign with them just to have an agent, that would have been a bad move. But that didn't happen in my case. I was actually very fortunate. I wasn't fortunate out of the blue. I talked in, I think, one of my first videos how luck or fortune isn't random chance. It's preparation meeting opportunity. When you were prepared, the opportunities rain on you. In order to get prepared, you have to do a lot of planning. You have to spend a lot of money. I mean, this industry is a little pay to play. But that was the importance of me having a life and a career before this. I saved up a lot of money and I've taken a lot of risk to get to where I am today. Financial risk, personal risk, emotional risk, mental risk. So back to the agent point. March, April, May timeframe. Now I've networked enough. I'm starting to learn, okay, here are all the things I need to do. I'm going to classes, right? I'm in 2 to 3 classes a week. Now I get that is not easy for everybody. That's hundreds of dollars a month on classes that are coming out of my own pocket. But if you can get yourself at least into 1 class a month to show that you are actively training to develop your craft, that is going to impress people who are looking at you going, what are you doing to get better? What are you doing to learn about yourself? Another thing I did, and I'm gonna talk about this in an entirely separate video, is I worked with this group called Real Arc. Now, Real Arc is a group that felt like I had a manager's perspective from the very beginning. They helped me work on my brand, on my character types, on what I wanted out of this career. Then they helped me write scenes that I shot professionally, that I included in my reel and I clipped up, and those have gotten me auditions like you wouldn't believe. Now that was a pricey tag, but boy was it worth it. I worked out a payment plan where I was basically paying no interest for a year on it. So it wasn't a huge cost up front. I got to pay it in installments. And that has been the best thing for the very start of my career. Headshots. I got headshots at the very beginning. I got a professional set, like me looking professional, clean cut. I got a set a few months later looking a little more scruffy and relaxed and neighborly and friendly kind of things. Having those 2 sets of headshots, my character types were dialed in, but a little different. And when I was showing agents and managers and industry professionals my headshots, I showed a range of characters that I could play, and it looked like I could play upon them meeting me. May, June, July timeframe now. So I have my headshots. I have my reel or my clips. I have a resume that is full of work that I've done in the past, theater work, classes that I've been going to. It is professionally formatted. The very last thing I needed to do before I thought I was ready for an agent was get all my profiles up to date. So that's Actors Access, that's Casting Networks, that's Casting Frontiers, that's Backstage. I paid for the premium versions of all of these up front. I don't think necessarily you need to, but I do know that having a premium, like the premium Actors Access, the paid Actors Access, the paid casting networks, those two have done more for me or my career than any other casting site that I've used so far. Actors Access is just industry standard for theatrical. Casting Networks is just industry standard for commercials and some smaller theatrical. Casting Frontiers, I get some commercial stuff, but I don't use the paid version for it. But making sure those profiles were up to date entirely. All of my media was uploaded and was looked at by industry professionals to say that's good media. The resumes on those sites were up to date. The headshots, the slate shots, everything that I could possibly do is ready to go. And why did I do that? I had all these materials, I had a portfolio, I had a website, I had all this stuff. Why did I need to make sure my casting profiles were up to date? There's a little thing on Actors Access and Casting Networks called Talent Link. Maybe it's just Actors Access is Talent Link and Casting Networks is something else, but we'll just call them both Talent Link for now. If your profiles are finished, completely up to date, and they look good, agents and managers can search for unrepresented talent on these websites if they're on the hunt. Find you, send you an email, say, hey, we're interested, would you come and meet us? Guess how Tommy found his agent? Through a Talent Link on Casting Networks. They reached out to me, they said, hey, your profile's complete, we like your media, we like your vibe, we're looking for talent. Would you like to come to our office in Marina Del Rey and talk to us? Would I? Absolutely, why not? I'll have a meeting. I send it back, set something up for the following day, go to their office, sitting there with 5 or 6 other actors, passing around our resumes or headshots, talking about stuff. And they just checked all the right boxes. I mean, they were like, we'll give you a contract, you can look it over. Here's the percentages that we take. If the project doesn't make a certain amount of money, we don't take that. We are a boutique agency and we try to submit people for SAG projects or micro budget projects to get you SAG. We focus on starting you in commercials. What are your goals? Oh, theatrical, that's good. Oh, you want to get on stage one day. They checked all the right boxes. I read the contract. I had a few friends in the business, somebody who understands the legal speak, look over it, checked all the boxes. So I signed with them. And that came through a Talent Link. You know, you have all of these stories about people talking about their 50 emails a day, trying to get people to hook them up or whatever. You don't have to get lucky. You just have to be prepared and you have to be open for the opportunities. The right thing will come along. It really will. And there were plenty of people that were willing to introduce me to their agents when I was ready, when I had my materials all ready to go. I didn't feel like I was ready at those moments, but like the month that I felt ready and was gonna start asking people like, hey, I think I have all my materials, I think I'm ready to get representation. The month that happened, the industry found me. I'm not some divinely lucky guy. And this happens to people all the time. I've met plenty of everybody at that meeting that I was at had that agency reaching out to them to say, we like you, we'd like to talk with you about potentially signing you. So it doesn't just happen to me. So if you're looking for an agent right now, the best thing that you can do is not the 50 emails a day or the 150 emails a week or whatever they call it. It's looking at your materials and saying to yourself, if I was an agent, if I was in an industry where there are tens or maybe even hundreds of thousands of actors that are all looking to make it, and there's only a limited amount of agencies out there that can sign people, would my package stand out for any specific reason? Do my headshots pop? Is my resume interesting and formatted correctly? Is my media shot well, showing my types and expressing a range of character that makes people want to watch me? Do I have a website that is easy to navigate and stores all that information? Do I have social media that is engaging and pitching my brand at all times? Do I make content like a vlog that people can watch to get to know me more if they're interested in me? If I was selling somebody to a casting director, would I want to sell this person for any specific reason that is unique to them? You want an agent? That's how you get an agent. Work on your materials, work on yourself, and be ready for the opportunities to show up when you are prepared. But that's just my take. That's one way to get it, right? Not everybody's gonna get an agent through Talent Link. Not everybody gets an agent through referrals. Some people walk straight into an agency with a headshot and then get signed the next day. There are so many ways to do it in this town. I just wanted to share the way that I did it, the way that I think is most accessible to everyone because it was basically all virtual. So what did you think about that? Does that help you with your search for an agent, do you think? Do you have any questions about that? If you do, please put them in the comments. I would love to answer it. What have you tried to get an agent? What seems like it hasn't been working? What advice, if you have an agent, would you provide to anybody looking for one? Please put those thoughts in the comments so we can have a discussion and potentially help those who are searching find the right agent for them. In the next episodes, I want to dive a little deeper into some of those materials I was talking about headshots, talking about reels, talking about that company reel arc that I worked with, talking about how to format a resume, talking about my website or my social media, talking about how I got a manager after I got my agent and how that relationship works. If any of those specific topics interest you, drop it in the comments, please. Let me know. If I see a resounding, we want to hear more about this, that's the next thing I'm going to talk about. But yeah, that's it for today's episode. I definitely learned something today. I hope you did too. I'll see you in the next episode, and until then, take care.